Welcome to this masterclass on systematic building operations and cleaning performance. Look, I want you to completely rethink how you view facility cleanliness. Walk into any truly successful, high-performing building, whether that's a corporate office, a hospital, or a university, and the cleanliness immediately stands out. But let's be absolutely clear from the jump. World-class cleanliness does not happen by accident. It's not just some maintenance chore or a frustrating line item on your budget. It is a strategic, operational imperative that directly impacts health, safety, and your organization's bottom line. In this training session, we're going to master the systems, the strategies, and the exact metrics required to elevate your facility management from reactive guesswork to elite, data-driven execution. To kick things off, we need to address the elephant in the room. Austin Jones, the CEO of Millennium, really hit the nail on the head here. He said, complaints are not a measurement system. Neither is a gut feeling after a walkthrough. Now, this single insight should completely shatter the assumptions a lot of professionals have about how they currently measure their building's cleaning performance. If you're judging your vendors or even your internal teams solely based on what you kinda noticed during a casual stroll, or worse, just waiting for the phone to ring with a tenant complaint, well, you're already failing. You are literally operating in the dark. So, here is the curriculum for our session today. We'll progress logically through 5 critical modules. First, the management challenge. Second, principles of clean buildings. Third, tracking the right KPIs. Fourth, safety and chemical protocols. And finally, sustainable cleaning standards. Let's dive right into Module 1. Module 1, the management challenge, subjective versus systematic. Before we can fix the system, we have to diagnose the core management failure that plagues so many facilities. The old way relies heavily on walkthroughs, gut feelings, and lagging complaints. Why is that a guaranteed recipe for failure? Because complaints are a lagging indicator. By the time you hear about a problem, the failure has already impacted your occupant. Plus, walkthroughs are highly subjective and notoriously inconsistent. The systematic way, on the other hand, is built on documented standards, objective KPIs, and proactive tracking. And the data backs this up. BOMA International research proves that facilities with formal, documented cleaning standards actually experience 23% higher occupant satisfaction scores compared to those just relying on informal agreements. When you track nothing, you get whatever the vendor decides to give you. When you track systematically, you enforce excellence. Module 2, Principles of Clean Buildings. Moving from effort to systems. We are moving entirely away from sheer effort and transitioning to rigorous, underlying operational systems. The world's absolute best facility managers understand a fundamental truth. Clean buildings are maintained through systems, not just elbow grease. The difference between a struggling facility and a successful one really comes down to these 5 foundational principles. 1. Plan thoroughly. You need a comprehensive program from day 1. 2. Train continuously. You have to invest in workforce competence. 3. Inspect consistently, verifying performance with hard, undeniable data. 4. Improve relentlessly. And 5. Lead effectively to inspire that excellence. Do not gloss over these. Skipping even one of these steps significantly compromises the health, safety, and efficiency of your entire facility. Module 3. Tracking the right KPIs, the 10 metrics that matter. All right, this is where we shift into high-density data. We're about to introduce the specific metrics that transform cleaning from a vague vendor promise into a contractually enforceable reality. 90+. This is the BOMA benchmark inspection score for Class A commercial office cleaning. It is the absolute primary indicator of your program's health, and it's based on a rigorous 100-point weighted system. Let's define this clearly. A Class A inspection score is weighted, meaning areas like restrooms and lobbies count heavily towards that final number compared to back-of-house areas, simply because they drive occupant satisfaction. If your sustained score drops below 85, you are not looking at an isolated bad day. You are looking at a systemic program failure. But take note here, if you only track this one inspection score, you still have massive blind spots. An inspection only tells you the condition of the building at a specific point in time. It doesn't tell you how quickly those problems are actually being solved. And for that, we need our next critical metric, 95%. This is your target corrective action closure rate, as defined by IFMA best practices. This metric completely reframes how we think about quality control. The corrective action closure rate tracks the percentage of deficiencies resolved within 30 days. So here's the crucial takeaway.
A high deficiency count on an inspection isn't necessarily a total disaster if your closure rate is sitting at 95% or above. Why? Because it proves your system is successfully identifying and quickly eliminating operational failures. However, a high deficiency rate coupled with a low closure rate means your vendor acknowledges the problems and just outright ignores them. And that is absolutely unacceptable.
Okay, let's rapid fire through these essential responsiveness benchmarks. These must be written into your service level agreements. Response time, under 2 hours for urgent issues. Task completion rate, target 98% or higher. Keep in mind, a completion rate below 90% isn't just a minor issue, it is a material breach of contract. Restroom check compliance must be exactly 100%, no exceptions. Restrooms are always your highest complaint areas. And supply restocking fill rate needs to be 99% plus. Listen, an empty soap dispenser isn't an oops. It is a complete operational breakdown. Now, even with a world-class system, complaints are going to happen. But the professional way to track them is normalized by space. Keep occupant complaints under 2 per 10,000 square feet per month. By tracking this per square foot, you can accurately spot performance trends across totally different building sizes. Just remember, complaints are a lagging indicator. If this number suddenly spikes, it means your proactive inspections are missing something major.
We are pivoting now to a non-negotiable safety metric, less than 3.0.
This is the OSHA TIR, the Total Recordable Incident Rate. This is the absolute gold standard for evaluating a cleaning vendor's safety culture. A score above 4.0 indicates glaring, dangerous gaps in their safety program. Below 3.0 is the Bureau of Labor Statistics industry average. I really cannot stress this enough. Especially if you are in industrial or manufacturing environments, a cleaning failure or a high TIR isn't just a minor tenant complaint. It is a direct pathway to a severe OSHA citation. You are financially and legally exposed if your vendor operates unsafely. Module 4, Safety and Chemical Protocols, Execution and Compliance. Now we're moving off the spreadsheets and right into the supply closet to look at floor execution and compliance. Real execution on the floor requires formal, standard operating procedures. The University of New Mexico provides a perfect real-world benchmark here for how elite professional organizations document, authorize, and enforce their daily cleaning processes. Look, if your vendor cannot produce a customized, heavily detailed SOP document like this for your specific facility, they are literally making it up as they go along. And that builds directly into non-negotiable OSHA chemical handling protocols. First up, safety data sheets, or SDS. You must know the hazardous ingredients, health symptoms, first aid measures, and spill procedures for every single chemical in your building. Second, safe work practices. It sounds basic, right? Never mix bleach and ammonia. But you'd be surprised. It's about understanding proper dilution ratios and mandating PPE. As a facility manager, it is your absolute responsibility to ensure your vendors are strictly adhering to these exact SDS guidelines. When we talk about high-level execution, we have to talk about high-touch disinfection. We're talking doorknobs, elevator buttons, shared desks. The protocol here is extremely strict. You must clean with soap and water first, then apply an EPA-approved disinfectant, and critically, leave it wet for the required contact time. This isn't just a preference, it is a physiological necessity. You physically have to remove the dirt and grime first before a chemical disinfectant can actually penetrate the surface and effectively break the chain of pathogen transmission. Module 5, Sustainable Cleaning Standards, the SIMS-GB Framework. So, where does elite quality management meet true environmental stewardship? You must look for this mark, the ISSA CIMS-Green Building Certification. Let's be honest, the cleaning industry has a notoriously low barrier to entry, which results in a lot of unprofessional companies out there. Requiring CIMS-GB certification is your ultimate pre-qualification tool. It guarantees that a contractor has the actual management structure capable of meeting stringent sustainability and LEED requirements. To actually achieve this certification, an organization has to master these 6 core pillars: quality systems, service delivery, human resources, health, safety and environmental stewardship, management commitment, and green building practices. Notice how this certification brilliantly integrates deep management frameworks with genuine environmental care. A vendor holding this certification isn't just out there buying green cleaning products, they have engineered their entire operational DNA around sustainable, high-quality execution.
We've covered the underlying systems, the vital KPIs, the non-negotiable safety protocols, and the sustainability frameworks. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with a final thought to audit your own operational reality. Unmeasured work drifts, and drifted work always fails. Ultimately, you are the one who pays the price for that remediation. Look closely at how you operate today. Is your cleaning program built on hard data, contractually enforced KPIs, and rigorous systems, or is it built entirely on hope? Stop guessing. Start measuring. Thank you for joining this masterclass. Now take these frameworks, implement them, and demand absolute excellence in your facilities.